G'day, citizens. Welcome to the Inforunners. I'm Execute, joined today by the Astropub. How you doing, buddy?
Howdy, doing good. I've got 2 days left of me pushing hard, and then I can take a break.
I almost got 8 hours sleep today. That was pretty.
That's good.
I
was stupid, and I stayed up late and didn't go to bed until like 2 in the morning.
I got a 6 and a 3. I don't know if that counts as an 8, but yeah, a 6 and
That's
a
an
3.
8.
So yeah,
Usually we sleep in 3-hour cycles, so you know, a 6 and a 3 is about a 9-hour cycle, so it's not bad.
Yeah, not too bad. I get there. I feel better today than I did yesterday. Let's just put it that way. Right. Yeah. The AIE. We've got Greycat straight off the bank. We will have a buyer's guide coming out later today for the MDC, but it dropped kind of pretty much where we said it would, but at $50, which is the same price as the MTC. Yeah.
The only thing I can say about it is this isn't the last one. They called it in the video that they did about it. They called it the MXC chassis. So we're gonna have other MXC chassis going forward. They like this chassis for whatever reason. So
well, I think obviously the missile variant's a big contender then, because we saw that in the files, and again with the way that body. You can kind of see they've cut it off and made it into a Ute with the MDC. It's really obvious that would be a really good launcher if you lean back. So I thought I had rocks in my head for a little bit, but now I've seen this, I was dead bang on about that little.
And I think that the important thing to remember about the MXC is that this is going to be. I'll save it for the MDC thing, but I'll say that I have a theory about what variants are going to be doing. So.
Yeah.
Watch that.
Yeah, I know a lot of people want to pick this up as the LTI token, but I'd also say heavily consider the Salvation game package as an LTI token. It is $13.75 more, but for what you get in that pack, the Alpha UC alone is 40,000. So if you deducted that as a price from the pack goes down to $23.75. Plus you get an exclusive skin, the clothing and stuff like that. I know they're not as interesting, but that you can also see that as a deduction. So it is incredibly good value. You just get a ship here. Oh, and you also get the game package with the Salvation. You don't get a game package with this. So heavily consider that, and also think about if you're on selling it to someone else or gifting it to a friend or something like that, having the package is highly desirable.
It's a huge benefit.
Yeah,
it's a huge benefit.
Lots of new people coming into the game. Think about all the people you know that have their base starter package with no LTI, and then they buy other ships. This just allows them to keep upgrading. So massive value if you're on selling or gifting. Yeah. So yeah. They're both vehicles. Earn them in game.
Yeah.
PTV.
I mean, PTV is undergoing a. This is the one rare example, exception. While I say this is the only vehicle you should buy. If you're going to purchase a vehicle, this is the only one that has a value to it, and it is undergoing an entire rework, a ground up rework, so it can be more functional.
It's the only one at the correct price scale. As it should.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Also,
that's the thing is that because it's only $15. It's the one that it's actually valued at what it costs, like what it's good for. So,
I don't know if I've got a camera for this. Hang on, real quick. I'm just going to go to something else. I'll be right back, Paul. Don't feel bad. This is just a message. Yeah, I went to one that doesn't even have a screen. This is for you, John Cnou. Where's my skin for my PTV? It's been 3.5 years. You promised it to me. And it's not here. We didn't get it. Where is it? So
that shit better come out when they do the rework. That should be the first thing that comes with it. You
should really think about annoying Piss Poor Pete and doing this next year instead of the 85X. What do you think?
Oh, 100%. No,
no.
I want the 85X because the 85X doesn't have any skins, and it's pretty much ignored. People don't even know it exists. So that's a different thing.
Yeah. Really?
No, I was going to say, this is valuable. It's good.
Yeah. It definitely fits in a lot of smaller vehicles too. Like I know it fits in the back of the Endanger and stuff like that. So there's a lot of ships that this fits in that other vehicles don't. So, and you might dismiss it based on its size and stuff. I'd say the only thing that really competes with this is the Pulse, to be honest with you, for its size.
Yeah.
But this obviously does 2 people, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper than the Pulse as well. It's half the price. So yeah. Right. Yeah. The one vehicle I can get behind. Right, the ROC and the ROC DS, the joke,
The ROC
and the bigger joke. Right, yeah.
The somewhat decent vehicle, and then the mistake.
Yes, the one that we don't talk about. Yeah. Again, at $55, and you look at a military vehicle in the MDC, you can clearly tell that it's overpriced for what it is. It was one of the very first kind of vehicles to come along, and I think that also is reflected in its price being egregiously high, as all vehicles are. It does have its place, and it will be beneficial in game, but that is the key point in game, and you'll find that as a recurring theme today with all as it always is with vehicles. They're just not worth the price. Get them in game. It's like sell your fighters 2.0 essentially, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah. Now they did say they're going to do a big rework of this thing and make it enclosed cab for the people on the arms, and that is a benefit. It actually does. What did I do there? It does differentiate it. I went to Atlas somehow. Right. And now I'm all the way back to the start. Okay. Yeah. So it does differentiate it a little bit from the ROC now. With the closed cabs, so I actually think it can start to justify its existence, but we're just gonna have to wait. It's a priority thing.
Yep.
Again, it's better to do a whole new thing than fix something else. So they want to get everything in first and then go back and update everything at the same time. Makes sense to me. And there's not really a massive draw card for vehicles right now, but once different gameplay things come in, vehicles will start to have a real purpose in game. And I think that's the problem at the moment. A lot of these vehicles also don't have their purpose. You can see they're setting up for a massive ground warfare and base building and all that type of shit. And it's going to be amazing. I can really see where it's going, but we ain't there yet.
Nope.
Yeah. Tell me about Steve.
I love the Steve, but the Steve is sort of he's nice to have, but he's not very useful. He's a Jeep. You know, he's a 4x4 or a 2x2, I should say. Like where two people sit beside each other, and or is that called a 1x1? I think it's called 2x. I can't remember exactly the name for it, but it's basically a 2-seater that can go off-roading. It's an off-roader. It's what Australians would call a ute.
Oh, pretty close to a ute. Yeah, I'd call it a Jeep, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a ute without the back, which it should have the back if it was a ute, but
Yeah. If it had 4 SCU, I think it has 2 from memory. I would then call it a ute. But really, all you're getting over a PTV is it's faster and carries 2 SCU. And again, you get more than double the price. You can almost get a third one for $5 more. So you can see why we kind of scoff at other vehicles. But yeah.
Also, still worse than the Cyclone.
Yeah.
So it's got the Ursa syndrome, where it's like the Cyclone is the best vehicle they made, and every other vehicle they've made since then has to be worse in some way or super better in some specific way, but it's still just not as good.
Yep. So the Warbond CCU saves 15, but there's not particularly. It's not particularly kind of brown raking. You can kind of go from a Razor. And you get it for $5, and it saves 15. There are other ships in there that are similar to this, so it isn't a congested area. But if you don't have it, and for this sale, why not? So this is more of a Warbond CC for those that don't already have a bunch of them. Yeah. Right, I think that kind of covers that one. It's not earth shattering. We're not sitting here going, "Wow, must buy a CC." It just kind of is that.
Yeah.
The Atlas, again, this is kind of a hard pill to swallow at $40 personally. I think we worked out
since you can get it in game right now for like almost nothing.
Well, we worked out, I think it was like $7 or $8 when we worked out what it should be, based to other vehicles in the game and ships. It's really quite expensive. But I'm going to be honest, during that event, you can buy it in game too, but during the resource drive event, this was invaluable with a raft. This dovetailed with a raft. You want to justify a price increase on the raft? Have somewhere to dock this thing on the raft. You want to make the raft like functional. Have it tie in with their own shit. If you had somewhere where you could store a raft on an Atlas on a raft, it's a ship. I would buy that ship.
like a little elevator that takes up to its own custom garage.
Yeah, something like that. But there is a little space underneath, and I was like, you'd have to store the Atlas sideways or something like that. And I know a lot of people are going to turn it, but you can put it on the raft. But it literally takes up like 12 SCU off the cargo grid. It would just be really cool to have a dedicated dock or something like that. And now they've taken a bit of the functionality away. Like it doesn't need to be a 2-person ship anymore. So again, if you could rejig it to be a 1-person ship, that's what I would probably do, and then maybe make it so the Atlas is a thing. And if you are going to have a 2-person ship, then you definitely want an Atlas on this thing, because then you can have 1 person on the tractor beam, 1 person on the Atlas. It's just that simple. So no matter which way you swing it, you need to. I'd be going back to the drawing board on the gold pass of that raft and somehow tying the raft in with the Atlas in with it. It's a no-brainer to me. I don't know if you think so, Paul, but
I mean it'd be good, but I don't think this is the last we'll see of the Atlas chassis. We'll
Definitely not.
Because I mean, we can just kind of wrap up the Atlas and the Geo together.
They're
the same.
Well, Well, we haven't actually seen the salvage type one that's in the picture in Astro Armada either. So we know there's at least a salvage variant. Yeah.
The Atlas Cut.
Maybe that's what
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be the Atlas Cut because it'll replace the Cutter little snub ship for the Reclaimer. That'll be called.
Not a bad idea.
Just be an Atlas.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. And then put like a little dock in the cargo bay of the Reclaimer. Yep, I could see that. Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. I could get behind that. I never thought of that until you said it, but that's a good idea. The Geo, essentially, you just lose the tractor beam, get a mining arm, and it puts a bag thing on the back, and you get to jump. It puts jump jets. So basically, I'd see this system being eventually modular, and you could pick the arm that you want. You can pick the backpack that you want in the jump jet or the whatever. And if there's the salvage variant that we've seen is also in space, so that means instead of a jump jet pack, it's an EVA pack. So that literally allows this suit to be highly modular, and I think it'll be a great utility suit when it's all said and done. I'm looking forward to.
I still think each of the bespoke suits will have their own advantages, kind of like how they're doing it with the Kruger Wolf, where like I guarantee you, like the Wolf Alpha will always have better capacitors because it has that built-in capacitor bank versus the so it'll have more shots for the engine for the laser. For the energy weapons compared to the regular Wolf. I think it'll be the same thing where like the Cut will probably have an enclosed cab, so it'll probably be like it'll have its own air supply, so you don't have to like worry about
why I think that's possible. I don't think it's necessary because you do have your own air tank.
No, I know, but I mean the idea is that if you have it enclosed, then you don't have to wear your own armor while doing EVA. But it allows it to be a little bit more versatile for that. And because we know that oxygen will eventually become or atmosphere will eventually become a resource that your suits use. They already kind of do, but they'll be using them more frequently. So
put your developer hat on though, and look at what they've done with vehicles where they've got open cab vehicles and closed cab vehicles. You don't think they'll take the option to have 2 Titan suits, one that's open and one that's closed?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
this will be closed. That's what I'm saying. That the EVA will be closed so that it'll be easier for them to manage it. But I still think that closed.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be open, and they'll make a whole nother suit that is closed. I think they will. But we'll see. It doesn't really matter that much. But
we already know they're doing that because of the Virgil Zeus. The Virgil Zeus is a closed cab because it's basically armor. So.
Now we can talk probably a little bit about this one too, but we can also talk about its sibling that's still out there lingering in the concepts ether. So we've got the CSV. It comes in 2 variants, the SM and the FM. I really think they should have gone AM and FM. I just think it would have been really funny, the radio bands. But the SM essentially carries 4 SCU. It's basically an upgraded mule. And the only thing it doesn't have is the tractor beam, but it does have a place for you to put a tractor tool. So basically, I kind of prefer it over it basically killed the mule for me in a lot of ways. I think the mule, I don't know, it does show those different tech levels though, doesn't it? You know, the Drake would be the low one, this would be the middle one. And then the FM variant that's not around yet, but you'd have to assume it's around the same price point, will be a fabricator, one of the smallest fabricator, not a fabricator, sorry, a base builder. Base builder. Yeah, is there anything really to add on that? I never see these things in game, ever. I do see mules.
No one uses them.
Yeah.
It's just well, you see mules. You see mules because CIG actually literally spawns in mules at locations. Like those are all NPC spawned or CIG spawned mules.
Well, hopefully, eventually they'll do one for this though, like a mission that has these ones too. Because yeah, why not? It uses the same entry and exit animation and stuff like that. So yeah, it's basically just a fatter mule. Yeah. The Mole, available every day of the week. This is a really good everyday ready ship. A lot of ships at that price point. So things like Redeemers, Paladins, Asgards, Caterpillars, Starfarer Geminis, or any of that. This is a really good ship to jump a CC off from. But the ship itself, it does have its place in the mining loop right now. It's really good when you're going out with a group. But I think a lot of people in the groups that I go out with, they prefer to have one mole for the rocks that they can't crack and then multiple little prospectors. And then they'll, like, if they find that one rock they can't break, they'll all jump onto the mole and then do it on the mole and then go back to their own prospectors, because it allows you to search faster and stuff like that. So yeah. And once you crack it up, you can generally use the prospectors to keep cracking. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anything you want to add about the mole or not really?
Not really. I don't have enough experience with it, but my general experience with it is that it's pretty fun. It's a good little ship for what it does. But I also don't think we're going to see necessarily a mole, a repeat of the mole in salvage. I know a lot of people want to see that, but I'm like, I don't see it. So
they
it's gonna be unique.
They literally, well, when you say mole in salvage, do you mean like a large salvager?
No, I mean like an open cab. Right. The problem with the moles, the problem that the mole has is to justify itself, it has to break the game. So like it has the same bags as the prospector, but is technically larger for whatever reason, and the dual seats don't have open, they don't have enclosed cabs, so it's like it kind of like we'll see I think at best we'll see like a dual salvager, like a medium salvager that has like 2 salvage strippers, but like not like 3 in an open cab, and like this it's a unique ship, and the fact that I don't think we'll ever see something like it again.
Well, that's also the Reclaimer's got a really low crew count really for its size too, you know what I mean? And you tend to have people dedicated up the back, and you really only need 2 or 3 people up the front, so you're kind of on par there. And surprisingly, the Vulture's the smallest medium, and the Mole is the largest medium. So I do find that kind of weird. So in a weird way, we already do have the ships of the similar size. So you kind of have answered your own question, or answered it, whatever. MPUV, the King, as we call it.
The Short King, our Short King forever.
Basically all around the same price point, except for the cargo variant, which is $5 cheaper. I think the tractor's probably where it's at the moment, just because the other 2 don't really have their function so much yet.
Nope. Yeah, I think the tractor is the T is the best version. It's what the C should have been, but we'll see.
Yep.
The only reason why we don't see a lot of changes to it is because of the Squadron.
This is correct.
All of the MPUVs except for the tractor are in Squadron, so they can't change those because they share files with Squadron. They can't change until Squadron is his own branch entirely and is released and is updated separately from the main branch of Star Citizen. They can't use the same. They can't change the base models of the MPUV to make it make sense for Star Citizen.
Yeah, and to go back and do that is extra work, and it's just a priority to get Squadron out the door.
Get out.
Just get it out.
It's such a small thing for them that it's like, nah.
Yeah. They could probably do it, like they could probably easily do a ship in a day or 2 or whatever. Yeah. But again, that's just a day or 2 they're not working on.
Plus all of the bugs and stuff like that. So
and you'd have to redo it every time you update it too. That's the annoying part of it. Yeah. So yeah.
And I say that because I do still think that the MPUV is going to have a role in game. I know a lot of people say this ship is doesn't make any sense. It's like it will have a role in game because I think a lot of people are mad that snubs don't have quantums, and like just give them quantums so we can go around. It's like that's the whole point of having snubs without quantums is they're supposed to be tenders. They're supposed to work around other ships, and I think you'll see the value eventually.
You'll totally see a lot of NPCs flying around spaceports and making them feel like an active hub. Like they'll be all carrying cargo all over the place and stuff like that. I reckon it'll visually be really cool. And we've seen kind of things that hint to that in some of like the Whole Sea trailer, for example. We saw things like that. So I have to just wait and see. The raft, last time this will be available at 125. It's going up. We don't know what it's going up to, but
so good. I mean, it doubled its cargo capacity, pretty much over doubled its cargo capacity.
But it also lost some other function that they never actually talked about, but we were pretty sure it had. It was clearly designed as a loader for the Whole Sea because of the individual 32 SU containers that lifted up, and now it's changed. And as I said, it probably doesn't need to be 2-person anymore because one person was going to be moving the crane and the other person was actually lifting things up with the crane. So you no longer need 2 people. It's just a cargo ship now. But now it's a dedicated cargo ship. It also can't do vehicles and stuff like that, like some of the other ships can. So I think that brings it down a bit in price. I'm realistically, for me, I think the maximum would probably be around about 150. I kind of initially thought that it was probably just everything was gonna jump up by 1 because of the Golem Ox. So I thought it might just go to 140, but I could actually see it making it to 150 because of its SCU count. But yeah, I'd actually the same.
I might be optimistic or not optimistic. I might be a realist or I might be cynical with this, but I think it's going to 200. Yeah, no, I think it's going to 200.
I don't know how to respond to that because someone else said it was going to 165 and I thought they were crazy. So
here's the reason why I think it's 200. Yeah. First of all, what did they do with the Terrapin?
Yeah, kind of, I guess. Yeah.
All of the ships that are really hyped up, that have really high prices because they were hyped, because they were popular. So CIG decided to rise the popular. This is one of the most popular ships in the game. You see it everywhere because it's so useful.
But the Terrapin's never sold well because it is grossly overpriced. I would say at $200, this is grossly overpriced.
But that's the thing is that Cutlass Steel. Like, you know, like CIG has a long history of getting greedy with ships that are popular.
While I agree,
I can see them doing it.
While I agree, they've also learned to roll it back a bit. Like they've like that's why the medical Terrapin was exactly the same price as the other Terrapin. I don't think it's going to go that high.
We'll see.
I hope you're wrong. I'll just put it that way.
I'm just saying, at like the whole B is likely going to be in the ballpark of like 200.
Hey, put your money where your mouth is, Paul. Pick up a $5 CCU. That's all I'm gonna say. Pick up a $5 CCU, Paul. And prove me wrong.
No matter what, it's going up. So like, I'll pick up a $5 CCU. So like, no matter what, you're gonna get a value if you CCU this because you'll get a better.
You know what we should do? So. We should pick up a $5 CCU for Pissball Pete. He hates this thing. He went on stream and I was on stream with him. I said, look, how much would it cost for someone to donate for you to fly this for 24 hours? And he said, $100. Within 10 minutes, I had worked with the chat to get $100 and he had to fly for 24 hours. You know what he was doing the other day? He had the raft sitting in the background, running down the last 4 hours of the time. This was in August, by the way. He still hasn't finished 24 hours since August. And what he was doing was playing 10-pin bowling. He was, I'm technically using the raft because I'm pulling the pods off the raft to play 10-pin bowling with. It was so, like, he's just like, he hates that thing so much. The whole thing I was trying to do was to teach him how good the raft was during the resource drive event.
Yeah.
And it went, if he'd just done what I'd asked, I said, now you can just, you forget the rest of the time. It was just kind of a joke to try and teach him how good it was, and he just went the completely other way. But anyway, kind of funny. Right, SUV 165. This is kind of what I think it was Lemming was saying he thought the raft was going to go to, and I can kind of see that. Now I see the SRV here. I don't see a lot of these in game. I brought one in game.
The only reason why you don't see them is because they don't have a lot of value. Once engineering comes in, they will have a shit ton of value.
Yes.
Because the value is that they can cart smaller ships back to pads and land them on pads. And if they can put them on pads, then you can repair.
In a weird way, they're the start of the repair gameplay. they tow it to a pad so they can repair it at the pad, you know?
Yeah. It basically gets you to a spot where you can tow it. And like, once we have the Crucible, you take this thing, you tow it to a Crucible, and then drop it on the Crucible, and the Crucible does all the repairs for you.
Dovetail really, really well. Especially, you don't want to send the Crucible all the way down to the planet. You can just bring things up to it. So, yeah. So, yeah, cart for the horse problem with this one. But again, a CCU would not hurt on that one. Right, we're down to Consolidated Outland. There's only a couple of ships on this one. Oh, and a bike. I always forget about the bike. Quad bike. It's probably the worst quad bike in the game. Or hover bike in the game.
It's the problem is that it's middling. It's middling in everything because it was the one they used to rebalance hover bikes, and so as a result, it's like the new standard. But being the new standard means it's bad. It means it's, as the kids say, mid.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if you take the Dragonfly that does a little bit of everything, it does more cargo, but then loses the person and the flexibility of the Dragonfly. So yeah, it just becomes, it's essentially a cargo carrier quad bike for one person.
It doesn't have the maneuverability of the X1. It doesn't have the speed of the Nox. It's just
it gives that all up just to carry more cargo. And let's be honest, you're not carrying a lot of cargo. I think it's something like 1 SCU or a bit more. But the point I can't even remember. That's how forgettable it is. Like what you're getting is just not worth it. It is easily the worst bike in the game, and I feel sorry for it. I actually want it to do something else. Like, it'd be really cool if because it's like a snow speeder or something like that, maybe it has some other benefit. Like maybe it's more stable in the wind because it's got 4 stabilizers or something. Well, the Dragonfly's got that too, but you get what I mean? It needs something to set it apart, and it just doesn't have that. That's its problem. Again, like all the vehicles today, though, it's $30.
Not worth it.
Get it in game. Mustang, Beta, Delta.
We can kind of go over all of these together.
Yeah, we can.
This is the new, by the way, for those of you who don't know, who are the old heads, they got rid of the Aurora. The Aurora is no longer a starter package. It is now only the Mustang Alpha. This is the starter ship of Star Citizen.
Until the rework is done. And rework. Yeah, yes. So I don't know how long that's going to take, but when the Aurora comes back in, it'll be new, shiny.
Last month, in the last month report, they basically said it was done. But it was one of those things they said it wasn't going to come in this patch, but it'll come in shortly after. So 4.5 probably.
So this is the thing for the older people, and it's a gripe me and Argrid have, and I don't know if it's a gripe for you, so I'd just like to ask your personal opinion. So essentially, after they reworked this Mustang, the very next ship they brought in for Consolidated Outland was the Nomad that hovered on its own legs.
Skids.
Why the hell did they rework the really cool look of the old one of this and make it land on, because it used to land on its arms? They could have just made it hover arms. Does that annoy you at all? Like it does me and Argrid? It's just a pet peeve. We preferred the old one.
I think it doesn't annoy me, but I can see why it would be kind of annoying because like you'd want to have to make everything cohesive.
Yeah.
Like it should have a cohesive language. But the one thing about the Consolidated Outland language is that it doesn't have cohesive language, which is sort of bad. It took a while for it to find its footing, but the inspiration for the Mustang or for the Consolidated Outland in general is Tesla, SpaceX, and Solar City, the Elon Musk's companies. My camera died? Something?
Yeah, it died. Your camera had a stroke. You were like, and it died. All right.
What?
While you're fixing,
I'll fix it.
Yeah, that's cool. While you're fixing that, I'll kind of just go through each Mustang. And so this one's kind of the generalist for SCU. This one essentially gives up its cargo to give you internals. It's the only variant that has internals, and it's like a little camper van. So essentially it's got a bed in it and some cooking facilities. So it's gives up the cargo. Doesn't it? This is the difference between, essentially these two are the difference between the Aurora, where the Aurora gets the bed and the cargo. Here you've got to pick between the two.
I have a bone to pick with the Beta. They murdered it. It used to be so cool, and then they killed it.
Yeah, agreed.
It was just the interior was so unique and interesting.
Yep.
And then they turned it into a prison cell.
Yeah,
it's a Clasher prison cell.
Yeah, basically. So again, that's part of the rework Paul's talking about.
It's like why get the Beta when the Cutter exists?
Yeah, that's it.
The Cutter is just a better Beta. The Delta I like. It's the only unique thing of these.
Well, it's $5 more, and it's got internal cargo as well. So you essentially get a combination of these two ships for $5 more. Same with the Aurora. Yeah, so you get, these ships are cheaper, but you're losing so much for that $5. It's not worth it. The Delta, this literally is the same price as an Avenger or a 315p, but you essentially get missile pods that are just not worth it. It is a rare variant. You do not see it often in game, and it is only available at sales like this. I think it'll kind of have a unique place in game, but it's not worth $65. Yeah,
it's stealthy. It's your intro stealth fighter. Like it's a light fighter. It's very maneuverable. I have seen pilots. I would suggest ask Bops about the Delta.
Yeah,
because I've asked multiple combat pilots. I've seen multiple combat return. It's almost a joke of return to Mustang, because they put in a Mustang and they're like, holy crap, this thing is good. It is insanely maneuverable. I did it when I did my review of the starter ships. I compared the Alpha to the to the Aurora. I didn't realize that the maneuverability of the Alpha is better than the Arrow. It is it's actually better than the Gladius. This thing is more maneuverable than a Gladius. Like, it is insanely maneuverable. So, but it is a cool little thing if you want to get like a nice little light fighter that's a sleeper kind of thing. But for $65, you can get it in game.
Shoot him a message and tell him to pick one up for credit and see if he can do some tests for us.
I'll ask him.
Yeah, go for it. The Gamma. Now I'm going to slot another one in here. The Amiga, which is the one you can see in the background. Essentially, these are the same ships. Back in the day, the Amiga was meant to have an additional booster, and when they redid the rework, they got rid of that. But the red one in the background, the Amiga, is the AMD ship that was sold with a bunch of stuff from AMD, but now it's just a different skin of the Gamma. But it's got a unique name. And these are both racing variants. Incredibly zippy. They sound amazing. Kind of can't justify its price because all racing ships are a bit expensive in my book, but this is technically the only racing ship I own because I do have that AMD one, the Amiga. Anything you want to kind of add to that? There's not really a lot to say about the Gamma. It's a racing variant. That's it.
Yeah, it's a racing variant. It's a pretty cheap racing variant for $55. But again, you can get them in game. Like, it's one of those. These are one of those weird ones where, like, the only thing that's actually of value is the Alpha. That's because it's the cheapest package. Because you're getting $45 for a game package for a ship that is actually $50. Like, it's a discount almost. So.
The Nomad. Now, I hated on this ship for a really long time, and I do think it is still a bit expensive for what it is. But when the hangars came online, as in the cargo lifts, I should say, not the hangars, it really did show me how beneficial this ship was with the exterior cargo. It is a mini raft in a lot of ways, but it's just a little steep for me at $80, but it does have a lot more cargo than, say, like a 315p, which is like $15 cheaper. But it is just cargo. It doesn't fly particularly well. It doesn't shoot particularly well. It is really leaning into the cargo carrying aesthetic. But of the advanced starters, it does cargo better than anything else. I'd say sub 100 because the whole A is about to go up. So now the whole A goes up in price. It definitely takes it because again, for $10 more right now, you can get the whole A, and that'll do. I believe it's a bit more cargo. I'll have to double check that. You want to add anything about the Nomad, Paul? Or?
It's got a cult following. People love that ship. It's super popular among certain groups. It's the Cybertruck.
Yes,
but useful. Is the way of putting it. But it's just like the Cybertruck. It's very divisive in terms of women do not like the vehicle. To make a meme quote for it. It was built. The hoverquad was built to fit in this thing. Which the reason why the hoverquad exists is because of the Nomad. That's probably why you don't like the Nomad as well, because it's like both of them are designed to work together, and both of them still have that same kind of sort of feeling. I do think it's a good ship. I would love to see a Nomad XL, like a what's a good name for it? I'm trying to think of another name for like Nomad, like Wanderer or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like this, but a large size with an open cab in the back. With
maybe that medium senior ship is open back. Could be.
Yeah.
We don't know. Yeah, you could be right. It does 24 SCU. I just looked it up. But the whole A does 64. So it's greatly increased over the 315p. But again, for $10 more, you can almost triple it, but not quite.
Yeah, or get a Golem, because Golem is the Golem Ox is just the Nomad with more cargo and $10 more.
Yeah,
because it's similar concept of open back in the sense that it's open and it's got its own tractor beam. So the one thing that does make this stand out is it has its own tractor beam, which is easy to load.
Yeah, so. And again, I totally forgot about the Golem Ox there for a second. So that's where I'd be going, is the Golem Ox over this or the whole A. But again, it's got a lot of competition there. It needs to justify its price more. I think this would have been better around 70, maybe 75. I could adjust it. Like we're talking semantics here, right? Because again, it's just money, but it does build up over time. Just me and Argo have always thought it was really overpriced, but when it did come in the game, it came in with one of the best packages the game had ever seen before, which has now been outshone by that new Salvation package. That is easily the best package we've ever seen now.
As I always like to say, or as it's kind of a combination of tomatoes and my own kind of quotes, which is there's got to be a ship for everyone, so there's got to be ships you hate, and for me, I'll add to that, and there's got to be ships that NPCs fly that you don't see players fly. That's one of these.
Yep, absolutely.
That's what it is.
I do see a lot of people fly this ship. Like John says for a lot of time said it is the first ship he owns in game every single time. Every single patch, and I could see why. Like I did not see the value of it until I actively pushed myself to use it, kind of like what I was trying to do with the Raft and Pissball Pete. And I could see why people liked it now. I see the benefit of having the tractor beam attached to the ship. You could just fly it, rotate the ship around, boom, 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 and it's all on. But now the Golem Ox is there. That does the same thing as this, and I think it does it better. So I think the Golem Ox is really kind of put a nail in the coffin of this thing for me personally, price wise. So I think it'd be cool if you could.
It's a buy-in game if you want to have a stepping stone from your starter ship to your Cutlass.
Put it this way: if this was $70, I bet you the Ox came out at 80. Let's just put it that way, and they wouldn't have had to move everything up, or maybe they should have done. But yeah, you get my point, right? The Pioneer, absolutely.
Good luck getting this.
I bet you it's already sold out this wave. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, sold out. I got one of these last year. I got someone to get me one last year, but I'm sitting on it, kind of waiting if you can get one at 925. Traditionally, again, this is the gamble I'm taking. Right, I got it for credit for 925, and my hope is, when it comes out, it's got to increase in price, right? So it's gone from concept to release. And when that happens, that is usually 10 to 20%, right? So if they want to be an ass, they only increase it by 5% and becomes 975, and then I don't get my LTI, right? So we now have a precedent for that, because that's what happened with the Triage and the Apollo, and the Medivac. But what I'm hoping is, and the fear when the Triage came out and I saw it go by 5%, I was like, oh shit, if they do that, my Pioneer... Right, but my hope is it goes up by a minimum of 10%, which will put it over $1,000. And the prerequisite for that is, when the Endeavor Master Set, it used to be $950. It only had one farming module, or the biopod module. They added a second biopod module, and that put the price up over $1,000. And therefore, retroactively, every single one that had like 6 months insurance and stuff like that, they all got LTI. So my hope is it gets LTI. Long story short, and the fact that the ship increased by 20%, I don't know. You tell me, Paul. Have I taken a wise gamble? I can always just melt it and turn it back into credit. But do you think I've taken a wise gamble or a bad gamble?
No, I think they're gonna keep it under 1,000, because the big thing about the $1,000 one is not only is it LTI, but it's also account locked. It becomes account locked if it's over 1,000. You can't gift it.
I don't know about that one, but the main,
you can't gift anything over $1,000.
Well, they're not meant to be giftable because of money laundering laws. That's why.
Yes.
But they can start under and go over, so it would become, they would all become locked. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But the other interesting thing is the Pioneer has never ever had it's always been limited. And I think they knew that was because it was going to go over. So it was locked, essentially. By making it limited, it was locked. Somewhat locked. So I do, I do, I don't know. I'm like this. Again, as I said, I can just melt it. No biggie. But I took the gamble. Right. And we are done, sir. that is everything. Hope you enjoyed the smaller manufacturers, Consolidated Outland, Greycat, and Argo.
Before we go on, I do want to do our quick update, and of course, you got to pitch the giveaway.
Sure, let's go that. I'll do that real quick then. Join the Discord. There'll be a link here below for the Discord, and we're giving a Paladin away in the giveaway channel. Just go in there and click the enter button, and you'll be in the draw to get a giveaway for a Paladin. All right, Paul, where are we up to on the funding tracker?
We are at this month so far. It is now 19 million, so a total of 127 million this year, which means they earned 3 million between yesterday and today. We were talking about it before the stream, or for this recording, which was like, man, it'd be nice to just not have to do anything and make $3 million just appear, because like there was nothing new yesterday. It was just the Anvil show, and maybe it's a residue from.
Do you reckon they sit around like crypto bros and just go, 300 million, or 3 million? Crazy.
Well, we're way past. We're 10 million above the highest level they've had, and I was thinking we were at 2 million per day, and we only had a couple days left, so we wouldn't make 50 million. But if they're hitting this 33 million jumps every so often, we'll see. But right now we're at 19 million, which means they'll easily by today they'll bypass the last year's numbers. But to get to second best of all time, they have to be above 23 million, which I think they're easy going to do. I don't think they'll hit 28 million because 28 million would require a jump of 9 mil between now and the end. And there's only, even if they did 3 mil for the last couple of days, we got tomorrow and Friday. That's 6 mil.
I think Aegis Day will do 3 mil. I really do. You got javelins and Idrises for sale, so that's like Krakens, and there's 2 of them. It's possible.
But right now, it is currently sitting in terms of new accounts. It's sitting just below second best November ever for new accounts.
Crazy.
So. And it'll easily bypass that. It'll have to beat 124K from November 2022 to get that. And right now it's at 96. It's really 95,742, whereas the best was 96. Second best was 96,345, which was in 2021. So generally speaking, like no matter what, they've already bypassed. It's the best year ever, and they're going to probably hit into the if trending is the same for December's, like for the December months, you're still looking at like they're looking at least 8 mil. You know, they did 19 mil in 2024, but like at least 8 mil. So if they're doing at least 8 mil on top of this, because that's like been consistent. It's like 9 mil, 8 mil, 8 mil. If they're that consistent with that, then it will be, you know, another 8 mil on top of whatever they make. They'll probably get above 30, above 40, but it'll be a struggle for them to put 50.
Yeah.
You already did the giveaway, right?
Yeah. What do you want to hear from people in the comments below? Was what I was going to ask you.
Before we do, I want you to remind you to plug your post.
Oh yeah, shit, totally forgot about that. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. So there is a live stream tomorrow for you guys in the Upover, I believe, for the Ship Q&A team. And about 5 hours after this Q&A went live, I dropped this question that's made it all the way to second place. And I want to get to first place. So if you'd help me out, it's a vanity thing. Go in there and chuck an upvote for me, because I'm not a fan of the way the first question is written, and it's only the way it's written. He's essentially asking when are we getting the galaxy, but the way he writes it is like, the Perseus is a pile of shit. Why weren't we given the galaxy? That's I'm paraphrasing, and that's the only thing that annoys me. And this guy came in like pretty much right after the post went live and posted, I came 5 hours later and I've made it to second place. So I think I've earned my spot because I came from way down the bottom to way up the top. But essentially my question is just, can we please get a ship silhouette video? And I know you guys want to see us in tinfoil hats again. So if you want to see us in tinfoil hats, get us some upvotes. And I think that even if they don't answer the question, I think it'll at least show them how important that video is to the community. I do know Trispone's really upset about it. Grim's really upset about it. I'm upset about it. What about you, Paul? Does it kind of upset you that we didn't get one? Probably not as much as me, but
no, but I love it because it adds so much more flavor and discussion within the chip communities. Like everyone has questions about them. It gets people hyped and interesting. It's just good marketing. It's good solid marketing and gets people and it's super cheap. It's super easy for them to do. And it does sometimes have blowback, but they this is like what, the third year they've done that. They did it for 3 years straight. We know that they don't always make those ships complete. Like they don't always make it in the end of the year. I think the community at this point is sort of understands that now. So it's more than ever. It's super easy for them to go, oh, okay, cool, we'll do this, and then people aren't going to get mad about it. So.
Well, they played it really safe last year. They put all the Hornets in there, so the list just shrunk to like half the size, and then on top of that, they also said starting production in the next 12 months. So they did start to clarify things, right? And they can play it safe by just telling us that stuff at the start. And again, I really want to see it. And I think, as you said, if they can make an SCL every week, surely 1 week they can take that off and do this instead. Yeah, simple. Yeah. All right.
The only other thing we're going to say is for you who are wondering, we are going to do we discussed this. We're going to do a video next in at the end of the year explaining what the galaxy that in fact the galaxy is we're the reason why the galaxy is not coming out anytime soon. Well, you're welcome.
It's my fault specifically, but that's how I wanted to reply. I was like, can I just edit the question and just say, it's my fault?
It's not coming out. And it's my fault.
Yeah. But we'll lead into that with the episode when we do it. I don't know, over the Australian summer sometime. But what do you want to hear from people in the comments below?
I want to hear their thoughts on the potential variants for the ATLS. Everyone knows I'm a stompy robot guy. I love my mechs. So what other variants of the ATLS could you see in terms of industrial use beyond salvage?
I'd probably add the Greycat one into that as well, and then I'd probably ask: is there any bad advice that we've given today? Is there any advice that you would recommend we look at and readjust? I kind of want to hear the other side of the coin. Like, for example, when we say don't get vehicles and stuff like that, or do you just all adamantly agree? I like to be challenged, so feel free to share your advice there and let us know what you think. I appreciate it. All right, where can people find you on the interwebs, Paul?
Twitch.tv/theastropub, youtube.com/theastropub live, and youtube.com/@thecaptainstable podcast. But more importantly, if you enjoy lore content, you can also find me at youtube.com/theastrohistorian, where we're going to be doing, shortly after this recording, we're going to be doing our lore tour of these different manufacturers on the floor. We've been doing them all week, and we'll be continuing that live streams until Friday. So.
Gives you a lot of that flavor text. Like I went on to the last one and it was really good. You just get all those little subtle things that, and I've heard it all from Paul before, but it's like
it's a nice reminder.
You kind of forget it all, and then the next year you go back and Paul tells you again, and it's all fresh again. So.
I mean, I've heard that people say that before. So but it's a nice thing to also to actually visualize, because we talk about the ships here, but when you actually look at the ships on the floor and you start to see the design elements that they've also incorporated into lore, like for instance, Anvil, and all Anvil ships are deltas with circles.
Yep,
all of them are.
Absolutely.
And you can, once you start realizing it, you can't unsee it, and so you start to see it in every sort of thing, Anvil design. And while that is like, oh yeah, that's neat, it's like, well, it's what the designers are doing because of the style guide, but also that's been incorporated into the universe, the in-fiction universe. So it's a nice little double, this is a manufacturing thing, but it's also a in-fiction thing, and they do that a lot, especially with Argo and Drake and stuff like that. So
it's how we're able to tell ships in the silhouette, for example, are a certain style because that's what they do on that ship, etc. So you do learn things, is in short. All right, with that then, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Thank you to everyone that wants the extra mail on Patreon at the end of the video. With that then, he's been the Astropub,
and he's been the Execute.
The Execute. Do you know what, every time you call yourself the Astropub, I literally go, they used to call it the Facebook. Right. Yeah. And the other thing was when I took over the Inforunners, the first thing I did was remove the. just Inforunners. And I think you would adamantly agree the Inforunners is not cool as Inforunners, just personal opinion. And I have this thing, when I see it in movies, and a movie's called The Something Something, I hate it, because it should just be called The Something. Yeah, shut the... See, he's triggering me. It's all deliberate. Right, he won. All right, we're done. That's it. I'm out. Fuck you. Right, done.
Love you, X.